Fubuki time!
This is the first time we have been alone at the agency, Yuma.
Huh. Now that you mention it, I guess you're right. I know. How about I make you some coffee? Or would you prefer some tea instead?
Which is which again?
Huh? What do you mean by that?
How to put this? One is dark and the other a bit pale.
What?
Which is coffee and which is tea again?
What?
The darker one is coffee.
Anyway, the darker one is coffee.
Oh, it is? Now that you mention it, that sounds right.
Yeah.
However, this is quite troubling.
How?
There are far too many moments in my life where I cannot tell things apart. Just like with coffee and tea, I cannot tell the difference between an elevator and escalator,
Oh god.
or left and right, or the day after tomorrow and the day before yesterday. I cannot differentiate many things.
That sounds rough.
Oh, there is more. Until recently, I thought paying reparations meant you were paying a repairman.
No.
That's a new one.
She's such an airhead. I'm surprised she's managed to survive for so long.
Fubuki, have your misunderstandings ever gotten you into trouble?
I kind of wonder that as well.
Trouble. I suppose when all is said and done, I have managed fairly well. Oh, there was one thing.
What?
Really? If you don't mind, can you tell me about it?
Yes, of course. Back when I was around 10 years old. In the neighborhood where my mansion is located, a rumor was spreading about a high school student who could fly. I hoped it was true and wished to meet him, so I went for a visit.
Oh god.
However, he could not in truth fly, but was rather considered something called a flight risk.
Oh my.
At this point, it sounds like a comedy skit.
It does.
Oh, well, it gets worse. He was more than a mere delinquent. People considered him an extremist. Upon discovering I was the daughter of the Clockford family, he kidnapped me and barricaded us away.
Barricaded?
Yes. He demanded the government revise the Constitution if they wished me to be returned safely.
So, what happened after that?
It was quite a while back, so I cannot really remember.
How do you not remember?
In the end, the laws were changed a bit, and I was released.
The laws were... what? It makes sense a master detective, or rather a member of the Clockford family, would have such ridiculous stories. Being unable to tell coffee and tea apart should have been the least of my worries.
Master, you and Fubuki seem to have grown closer.
Thank you kindly for keeping me company today. Because of you, Yuma, I have experienced takoyaki for the very first time.
How did you like it?
Oh, it's nothing. I'm surprised you wanted to try some in the first place.
Oh? Why is that surprising?
Cause it is octopus.
Could it be that my face resembles takoyaki, so you believe I am a cannibal?
That's not at all what I'm saying. You don't look anything like takoyaki anyway. It's just that you grew up like a princess. You even got kidnapped because of it. That's why I didn't expect you to want to try takoyaki.
Ah, so that is what you meant. But I am not as high class as you might think. My daily life is rather ordinary.
I sincerely doubt it.
Is that so? It truly felt plain to my eyes.
Well then, can I ask you a few questions? It helped me get an idea of what it was like for you growing up.
Very well, if that is what is required to satisfy you. You can ask me anything, including my measurements or the password to my bank account.
No, I don't need to ask about those. Anyway, to start off, how many rooms did your home have?
How many rooms? I never really considered it. First the kitchens. There were 1, 2, 3, 4. I am beginning to grow confused. My apologies. I am not very good at counting such large numbers.
No, that's more than enough for me. There's really no point in asking any more questions, but this is getting kinda fun. Next up, what sort of car did your parents own?
Their car? Unfortunately, there were no cars at our home.
Really?
Huh? That's hard to believe. Do you know what cars are? They have 4 wheels and move on roads.
Yes, I have seen them around the city,
Okay, that's good.
but none of those tiny cute mobile huts were anywhere near my home.
Mobile hut.
Mobile huts?
Are you talking about like the caravans? Are those what they were called? Caravans?
I'm guessing the cars at Fubuki's place are on a completely different scale. Okay, last one. What's the most expensive gift you've ever received?
A gift? Well, I am unsure how expensive it was, but the one that made me happiest was when I went with my family to look at the stars.
Huh? Stars?
Did you go in space?
On my birthday, my father told me a star would shine especially bright. I watched it with my mother and father. That time spent together was the greatest gift I have ever received. My parents are such busy people. I rarely saw them as a child.
My brain is hurting. My brain is hurting. Fubuki! What's the most expensive gift? It's clearly not a car, because you don't know what a car... Because even though you said you know what a car is, you didn't have a car. But it was not a necklace. It did not sound like he went to space. What was it?
Oh? Is something wrong?
My hands!
After asking so many petty questions, I feel real ashamed of myself. Even if you are rich, you're still you.
I am myself? That is true, I suppose. But Yuma, what what sort of person do you think I am?
What do I think of Fubuki? Well, that's simple.
Ditzy.
You're honest. You may be rich and ditzy, among other things,
He still calls it that.
but the foundation of who you are is your honesty.
I like Fubuki. I do like her, even though your brain just gets confused at times by her.
Well, I am not sure I would say I am honest myself, but it makes me happy to hear you say it.
You're honest. Otherwise, you wouldn't have said the time spent stargazing with your parents was your favorite gift.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me. After we looked at the star, my father purchased it for me.
Huh?
Huh?
I am unsure how expensive that may have been, but I am certain that is the biggest gift I have ever received.
Considering how honestly surprised I am by all this, I must have been a lowly commoner before losing my memories.
Master, you and Fubuki seem to have grown even closer.
Thank you so much for spending time with me today. That was a splendid adventure.
You're welcome.
That's a little much. We were just out for a walk.
Nonsense. Even if this was an ordinary walk for you, it was a proper adventure for me. This was also my first time using a vending machine and witnessing stray mice.
I see. Fubuki really has lived a sheltered life. Even everyday things are exciting for her.
I wonder if all her so-called adventures are like this.
Fubuki, you said you're an adventure detective, right? What kind of adventures have you gone on?
Do you mean what they were like?
Yeah. Would you mind sharing any that left a strong impression on you?
Well, the major one was the first time I explored what is known as a supermarket.
Okay.
No, it is far too early for you to appear bored already. Did you know? These supermarkets have hundreds, even thousands of different items lining their shelves. And yet all the employees there appear to know exactly where each one is located.
Yeah.
I cannot begin to imagine the sort of training they had to undertake to obtain such a skill. Based on my findings, I suspect that supermarket employees have abnormally developed sections of their brains. Well, is that not exciting?
Kind of is.
Sorry. I don't think supermarkets are exciting at all.
I see. I knew it! What about this? One time, I was undercover while investigating a tribe of nudists in the Amazon when they saw through my disguise.
What? That really happened?
I wonder how she lost her disguise.
Of course. Is something wrong?
Nothing. It just surprised me. That sounds...
I see. So that is what an adventure is to you, Yuma. How educational.
Wait, you were undercover in a nudist tribe and got caught?
Your underwear.
What about your underwear?
Huh? What do you mean?
Never mind, it's nothing.
I thought she got caught because of that.
I shouldn't have asked. Were you alright? Were you in any danger?
I was fine. The nudists were kind-hearted. Even though they caught me, they treated me very well.
How so?
They said that even if I was investigating them, displaying our naked bodies to one another meant we were all family.
Naked bodies? How nice of them. Fubuki really thinks a trip to the supermarket and visiting a naked tribe in the Amazon are on the same level. Everything about her makes zero sense to me.
Master, you and Fubuki seem to have grown even closer!
Hey Fubuki, there's something I've always wanted to ask you.
Yes, what is it? I would tell you anything, Yuma. Even the password to my bank account.
No!
No, I don't need your password, it's nothing like that. I'd like to know more about the Clockford family. You've mentioned them before, but I still don't quite get it.
I see. So you wish to learn more about my family. I do not mind. I will tell you everything I know. But first, how much do you already know about them?
Not much.
What I know about your family is...
I don't know! I actually can't remember. Didn't they manage the official history of the world?
Your family manages the official history of the entire world?
His story? Is the world a boy?
Sorry, I got that wrong.
I really can't remember. I know she told us, but it's been ages.
What I know about the Clockford family is... they're in charge of keeping the world standard for time.
Ah.
Yes, that is a correct assessment.
What does that entail anyway?
Are the clockmakers?
I can barely comprehend something on such a scale.
How should I explain it? For example, it is exactly like deciding to call an apple an apple. Does that make it easier to understand?
No.
No, now I'm even more confused.
Oh, really? Let me try to explain it another way then. To manage the world's standard of time means we manage what year, what month, what day, what minute, and what second it currently is on Earth.
Do you make calendars?
As an extreme example, so long as the Clockford family dictates it, we could move the date 10 years ahead or back.
That's quite a powerful privilege to have.
Indeed. It means means we could make everyone in the world grow older or younger. Although they are just numbers on paper.
That's incredible. I can barely follow along. Wouldn't it be possible to mess up the whole world by abusing such power?
Indeed. We could tear it apart, chew it up, and spit it right out. But the Clockford family would not do such a thing. We protect the world's time to ensure that never happens.
Protecting the world's time. Sounds like a daunting challenge.
My brain is confused.
Yes, it is indeed a heavy responsibility for my family, if I do say so myself. Even 100 elephants would be considered lighter.
Your family is tasked with such an important responsibility. I'm surprised they let their daughter join the WDO. Even if it's to help you learn more about society, it's far too dangerous.
Yes, you are right about that. Although I have not been told officially, my parents do consider me the next head of the family. Permitting the successor to join the WDO would certainly be nothing short of insanity.
Because if you die in the WDO...
Oh, so you think so too?
I do. But alas, I had no choice. You know how I can be a bit of an airhead at times?
She's an airhead all the time.
Yeah, maybe from time to time.
They said they could not entrust the world's time to a daughter who is so ignorant. They would rather send me to the outside world to survive on my own than keep me blind to reality. Which is why my parents made the difficult decision of enrolling me in the WDO.
Wow.
It was to be expected. The continuation of the Clockford family is more important to the world than my own life.
She said it so casually. I'm sure Fubuki has experienced so much as the daughter of the Clockford family. She must have been exposed to many things regular people couldn't even imagine.
Still, my mother and father were right.
What?
I learned numerous things about society after joining the WDO. I have already grown far past who I once was. Compared to who I was before I joined, I am a completely new person now.
It terrifies me to think she was even more airheaded than she is now.
I fixed the issue with the incline. Nice!
Master, you and Fubuki seem to have grown even closer.
I am sorry to have called you here, Yuma.
Set a limit of cards fast so you can send up 4 empty cards at a time or overstress a winch. Yeah.
It's okay. What's wrong? You said you wanted to talk.
Well, about that, perhaps, maybe... Yuma, I believe I may be in love with you, romantically.
What?
Huh?
What?
Oh? Did you not hear me? Then I shall say it again. I may be in love with you romantically, Yuma.
What?
What? Whenever I think of you, my heart feels warm and fuzzy. It's so anguished as well.
Oh dear.
I thought maybe this is the romantic feeling that people keep talking about.
That's impossible! Totally impossible! There must be some confusion. Maybe your mind is playing tricks on you. Someone as attractive as you would never fall for someone like me.
Oh, do you really think so? I find you quite an attractive man, Yuma.
I can't believe you think that.
Hey! Quit being all happy about it!
Well, I did not bring you here today to confess these feelings to you. Rather, if these truly are romantic feelings, I wish to thank you for them.
Huh? Thank me?
To tell you the truth, I have never had romantic feelings for anyone until now.
Oh boy.
I have had an arranged fiancé ever since I was little.
Oh boy.
Due to that, I subconsciously kept myself from falling for anyone. Although I yearned for those feelings of love, I knew I must not harbor them.
Oh.
I worried I would never fall in love. I have always felt such disappointment in myself because of it. But now, I have fallen for you and can experience what it is like. So, I wish to thank you for helping me learn what romance is. That is all. I just wanted to give my thanks.
Oh, in that case, I'm glad I could help. I guess? But wait, don't you have a fiancé? Having feelings for someone else is just going to end up making you sad.
Not at all. I have decided to talk to my father about turning down my arranged marriage.
Really? Are you sure? After all, wasn't that decided by the Clockford family?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it is vital to defend our family traditions and to obey my parents. All my life, I have lived with that as my highest priority. But now, I have decided to forge my own future. I have been thinking about it ever since I started working with you all at the agency.
I see. She's choosing her own future. I'm glad she can look at it that way. I'm happy for her. But even still, I think you may be mistaken about your feelings for me.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
It is true I have zero experience with romance, so I cannot say for certain. Well then, how about this? Once I am able to confirm with certainty that my feelings are romantic in nature, then, at that moment, will you hear my confession once more?
I don't know what to say.
I don't know what to say. It has to be a misunderstanding. There's no way you have feelings for me, Fubuki.
How do you know that? Please allow me to decide my own feelings.
I'm sorry. You're right. If she wants to confess to me again, then...
Oh.
Well, if you really do have romantic feelings for me, then... sure.
Thank you very much. Please, consider your response for when I next confess my love for you.
Would that mean I become heir to the Clockford legacy?
That was gonna be interesting.
No way, it has to be a misunderstanding. It has to be, right?
Master, you and Fubuki have forged the ultimate bond together. Good for you, Master. I'm happy for you.
Oh, that's Unsolved? I did solve it. Why does it say unsolved when I did do it anyway? Anyway, if I could do it all over again, every person has had a thought at some point. Exams, vets, relationships, work troubles. If only I could erase my failures. If only I could have been more successful. However, once a moment has passed, it cannot be redone. Unless you're her. Fubuki Clockford, the master detective capable of rewinding time. Her strange and lucky day begins now.
Hey, you there!
Me?
Yes, beautiful lady. You will succeed in all you do today. Consider it your lucky day, so to speak.
Lucky day?
Yes, it'll be the best day of your life. If you were ever to play a game of chance, today would be the day. Shall I read your fortune? I'll tell you what your lucky number is.
I do not fare well at gambling.
This is horrible! Someone just fell from the sky!
Is this part of my lucky day?
Someone falling from the sky. Fubuki's luckiest day.
It appears as though something is happening over there. I wonder if it could be some sort of festival.
No.
What's going on? Looks like someone collapsed.
Some guy fell from a building nearby.
Well, he's probably dead based on the
Was it a
blood.
suicide?
Pardon me. Please let me through.
Are you a doctor?
No, I am not.
Do you know this man?
No, I do not know him whatsoever.
Then why are you here?
I'm a detective.
Today is supposed to be my lucky day, so I thought I might be of some use.
Huh?
Oh, you are still breathing. What luck.
Hey, he's trying to say something. Sorry.
3? I was not quite able to hear you. Could you please repeat yourself?
That's a no.
Hey, hang in there. He's not breathing. Where's the ambulance?
Maybe that was a dying message? It sounded to me as though he was trying to say the number 3. If I am not mistaken, those were the last words he uttered before death. I must not let them go to waste. Oh, if I rewind time, I can hear his message again. Repeatedly hearing someone's dying message is something only I can do.
What are you mumbling about? If you're not gonna help, get out of the...
Actually, why not try to prevent him from dying in the first place instead? Protecting the people is part of my duties as a detective. I may still make it in time if I hurry.
I just got to.
Hey, you there!
Pardon me, I am in a hurry. Oh, that noise!
I guess I was closer.
Are you alright? What happened? Is there something you must say to me? Please, go ahead.
2.
2? As in the number?
Hey, you. What happened? Are you alright? Should I call an ambulance?
So he said 2 now.
No need. I am fine. I shall be right back. The dying message was different this time. First was 3. Next it was 2. I wonder what it could mean.
Hey, you there.
This is exhausting. I might not make it. Oh, perfect timing. Pardon me. Please let me in. Forward! Full speed ahead!
That was a good catch.
Are you alright?
1.
What happened here? Can you talk?
There. 1.
1? Now it is 1? What could it mean? Tell me, please, before you die! Did someone push you off? Who was the culprit? No good. I must do it over again.
Hey! He's still breathing! The car's roof must have cushioned his fall! Hurry up and call an ambulance!
Thank goodness. It is true. Today really is my lucky day. What a happy ending.
Is that really happy ending? Is it?
What a happy ending. And that is what happened the other day.
That's not a happy ending at all. Nothing was solved. Did the guy live?
Yes.
Yes, he managed to survive. Although he is currently in a coma.
Ugh.
So you still don't know why he fell from the sky?
Unfortunately not.
The newspaper says it was an attempted suicide. It seems he climbed over a fence on top of the building.
I bet the peacekeepers made that up after another half-assed investigation.
Regardless, it has nothing to do with us.
I mean, you're right and all, but doesn't it bother you? That sure is a weird dying message.
I don't think it's a dying message, it's a countdown of some
At
sort.
first it was 3, then 2, then finally 1, right? It's like a countdown or something. I've never heard of a changing dying message.
That's because dying messages are normally a one-time event.
So perhaps the message changed because I turned back time.
No, that doesn't make sense.
Well, was it counting down still?
The victim had already fallen by the time you arrived at the scene. So whether it be a suicide or a homicide, the events leading up to the fall shouldn't have changed. And I doubt he'd want to tell you something different each time. What do you think, Alara?
Should I assume you're requesting to hire me with that question?
Never mind then. It was dumb of me to ask.
No matter the problem, asking for my assistance is the wisest choice one can make.
Except you charge an arm and a leg each time.
Naturally, I must charge an appropriate rate.
100 GM a day, was it?
Although, in this case, it doesn't seem like a criminal act. I suppose I don't mind, if we consider this a conversation among friends.
Okay
Oh,
then.
so we're friends now. What's with the change of heart?
I wonder why the dying message changed. Do you know why, Halara?
I can deduce the possibilities. However, I cannot declare anything unless I investigate the scene myself.
So an investigation is still necessary.
You definitely want to remember this.
Includes you can review the info of acquired clues.
By the way, according to the newspaper, the victim fell from a 4-story building. Floor 1 is a luxury brand shop. Floor 2 is a restaurant. Floor 3 is a beauty salon. And floor 4 is a casino.
Okay, so 4 casino, 3 beauty salon, 2 restaurant, 1 brand shop.
Each floor has windows facing the street that cannot be opened.
Oh, it's like this puzzle of like... Is this a puzzle? This is like the puzzle of like... I remember there was a riddle which is like... A detective tries to figure out whether it was a murder or suicide. And then, how did he figure out? And then he said it was a murder. How did he figure it out? And then, because he went up through the match on the different levels of the floors, if I remember correctly. But the reason why it was a murder was because on the roof there was no door, but he had to open every single door on the way up. I think that was like the answer. Something like that.
Thus, it's very likely the victim fell from the rooftop.
That's wrong. Because he had the dice in his hand every time. Actually, not every time, but he had a dice. He was holding a dice because I thought I saw the dice on 3 and 2. I'm not sure if I saw the dice on 1.
Do we have an ID on the victim?
He's a 25-year-old man. He works at the shop on the first floor, but often goes to the other floors as a customer.
So the people in the building were his acquaintances. There's still a chance someone else from the building took him up to the roof and pushed him off.
Perhaps the dying message indicates who did it?
If that was the case, then it's weird the message changed each time he got to the victim.
Yes.
Or maybe there's someone named 321? That can't be it, right?
No.
You can't say that with certainty.
Okay, fair enough, but that doesn't explain why the message changed.
That reminds me, when the victim mentioned 1 the last time he spoke, he actually said, there.
There? Did he find something?
That I do not know, though he did look as though he was searching for something.
What does that mean?
I think he had to die
The
each
victim
time.
must have had something in his hand while he was falling.
That was it.
The impact of the fall caused him to drop it.
I see. So the victim found the item, then left the message 1.
If you think about it that way, the victim's message makes sense. and it's likely the item is related to the case.
Yeah, it's that die.
Fubuki, did you find anything at the scene?
My deepest apologies. I did not notice anything of the sort.
You may be careless, but I doubt you'd miss something so big you'd need 2 hands to hold it. Which means it had to be something small enough that it could be easily missed. Hold on. The victim must have held this thing in his hand the first time he fell. But instead of 1, he said 3 that time. Was he holding something different each time he fell? Or was he holding more than one thing?
Considering when Fubuki turned back time, it's hard to believe he held something different each time.
I saw 1 die each time.
However, we cannot eliminate the possibility there may have been multiple items.
I am now more lost than ever.
If we follow the logic, we will always arrive at our destination, the truth.
But I am truly lousy at that.
Don't give up, Princess. Let's start from the beginning.
Very well. I shall try. If the victim was holding something, that would be a key clue in this case, right? First, regarding the size of what he was holding...
It was something small.
That's right. Even Fubuki, who was at the scene immediately after the victim fell, didn't notice that small item. Therefore, it's reasonable to believe that whatever he held was something that could fit in the palm of his hand.
And the impact of the fall caused him to drop it. The third time, the victim realized he dropped it and appeared to be looking around for it. And when he saw it, he said, "There, 1." But why would the victim mumble the word 1 after seeing it?
Because there was only 1 of it.
Perhaps he was holding many similar items, but dropped most of them during the fall.
No.
And in that situation, he saw the last 1 and muttered, "There, 1." What do you think about that?
Why would he need to say how many there were? Couldn't he just say, "There it is," and nothing else?
The victim didn't get a good look at his surroundings, so he didn't think it was the only item at that moment. However, he did deliberately say 1 the last time, so something must have caused him to do so.
I see. In that case... Normally, that would mean that whatever was on the surface of the item displayed the number 1, would it not? So the victim saw that and read the number 1 aloud.
Huh? That's a dumb conclusion to make.
No, that's a sensible way to think about it. It's logical as well. The victim saw it and mumbled 1, so we should assume it was actually written there.
Maybe.
Are you serious? So whatever it is has the numbers written on its surface, right? I don't get it. In the beginning, he said 3, not 1.
It's not strange at all if we assume the number changes depending on the situation.
The number can change? Wait, then that must be it!
Whoa, Fubuki! Do you know what it is?
Yeah.
Yes, although it is just my guess. The item the victim was holding...
Was a die. Because I saw it each time.
Such as a die, or something.
A die? Oh, I get it. The number would change depending on the roll. Hold on. It first went from 3 to 2. Isn't it strange the numbers weren't the same? Fubuki arrived at the scene after the victim fell. By that time, the die would have fallen from the victim's hand. Which means that whatever number turned up on the die should have been set by that point. It couldn't have changed.
You're right. Do you have a counter-argument for this?
In that case, perhaps this explains it.
Because he said 2 the second time, so how would the angle work? No, yeah, the angle changed. Because if we go back, he was lying on the floor, so he must have seen 2. He was sitting up when he saw 2 there. There it is, 1.
The angle from which he saw the die would have been different.
The angle?
The first time, the victim was lying face down. If there was a die in his line of sight, he would have only seen one side of it.
What about the second time?
The second time, I arrived just a bit earlier, so I tried to help the victim up. At that moment, he probably saw the top side of the die.
I see. So that's how it went. It's true that under normal circumstances, only the number on the top of a die is read.
He landed on the taxi the third time, so it is possible that the roll of the die changed.
Fubuki, you sure are sharp this morning.
Really?
So basically, it went like this. The victim fell from the rooftop while holding a die. He dropped it once he hit the ground. Which means the die was cast. As the victim was knocking on death's door, he mumbled whatever number he saw. Great job deducing that much, Fubuki.
Does it appear that I'm becoming a better detective?
Somewhat.
Yeah, but not nearly as great as me.
We still lack an answer regarding the final part.
The final part?
Why was he pushed?
What was the victim trying to communicate with his dying message?
Now that you mention it, you're totally right. Why did he even bother reading the number on the die?
Perhaps it was to inform us of the identity of the culprit?
How would that work?
There is no doubt that the die was meant to point out the culprit. Nearing death, the victim sought out the die to inform you of that. But in his daze, the best he could do was say the number he saw.
So the die was pointing out the culprit?
Which floor the culprit pushed him out?
Wait, wasn't there a place that had something to do with dice in the building the victim fell from?
The casino.
Oh, so perhaps the culprit was in there? Perhaps the culprit was in the casino on the 4th floor?
Had to be.
That's probably it.
You did it, Princess! I didn't think you'd be able to figure it out.
There is no way I could have done so on my own. You have my deepest thanks, Halara and Desuhiko.
Yup, now bow down to my charisma. Still, we're just making assumptions here. We have no solid evidence.
Yeah.
If someone said we made it all up based on his dying words, that'd be the end of it.
But we made so much progress in our investigation. Is there nothing to be done about it, Halara?
It would be one thing if we had the die as evidence, but it would be extremely difficult to find now.
If only I hadn't noticed it and picked it up.
No biggie. It's not something you notice normally. Hey, Halara, what if we use your forte to find out where the die went?
I can't use my abilities while the victim is still alive.
Damn, you make it sound so ominous.
Leaving this case alone is still a valid option. No one made a request for us to investigate, so it's not an urgent matter. The case will solve itself once the victim wakes up.
The culprit might attack the victim again before that happens. Since they didn't get him the first time, they might try to finish the job.
That would be terrible! This is all my responsibility! What should I do?
Not much.
I don't think there's any need for you to feel responsible, but I wouldn't feel good about leaving this unsolved. Hey, Halara, you know of any ways around this?
There is one.
Stop teasing us and just say it! Oh, and before you ask, I'm not paying a damn thing.
A clue, then. Ask the fortune teller.
Are you a villager in an RPG or something?
The fortune teller!
Huh? Did something spring to mind?
I told you in the beginning, remember? A fortune teller approached me.
What's that got to do with this case?
You should interrogate that fortune teller about the casino. You may hear something interesting.
I understand. I shall depart after breakfast.
But hey, are you going alone? Fine, I'll join you. Halara, you're coming with, right?
I'm not going without a formal request.
So much for being friends.
Rude.
All you have done is more than enough for me. Thank you very much. I can handle the rest on my own.
I'm here too, you know.
Hey, you there!
Us?
Yes, you lovebirds. You make one fine pair. You will succeed in all you do today. Consider it your lucky day, so to speak.
Lucky day?
Yes, it'll be the best day of your life. If you were ever to play a game of chance, today would be the day.
Ah!
Shall I read your fortune? I'll tell you what your lucky number is.
Yes, please.
It appears that multiples of 3 are your lucky numbers. If you're going to gamble, be sure to bet on increments of 3.
I get it. This is what Halara was getting at.
What do you mean?
You're in bed with that casino up ahead, aren't you?
What are you saying? Casino? I don't know what you're talking about.
You claim we have good luck to scam us at the casino.
That's a baseless accusation. I'm just an ordinary fortune teller.
You must have heard about the guy who fell from the casino's building. The victim was nearly killed by someone who works there. I bet he knew too much about your secret. If you know something, you better cough it up now. Or you might be next. If you're working with dangerous people, you should call it quits today. We can take care of the rest, so tell us what you know.
As you said, my job is to lure customers in and guide them to the casino. The lucky number thing is all a lie. In fact, if they pick those numbers, they will surely lose.
But I truly believed it was my lucky day.
I'm sorry. I actually don't know how to tell anyone's fortune. I just followed the manual.
And that manual was made by the casino?
Yes. Cheating is rampant in the casino. They really conduct some dirty business there.
Do you know the man who fell from the building?
Yes. He's what they call a hired plant. He mixes in with the customers and steers them a certain way so the casino can cheat them.
Yeah.
So, my ears perked up when I heard he attempted to kill himself. I knew he'd made a mistake and was being silenced.
I see. So that's what it was.
Hey, are you really gonna do something about them? If they find out I told you all this...
Leave it to me. Who do you think I am? I am the superstar detective, slayer of evil, Desuhiko Thunderbolt!
That's not very reassuring.
It appears the entire casino is in on this crime. There will only be more victims if we leave them be.
We might as well see this through to the end. Though, I bet the chief would tell us to stay out of trouble.
He would.
But what shall we do? We lack even a single piece of evidence. I would feel terrible if we had to involve the fortune teller more than necessary.
I guess we'll have to rush in from the front.
Which means we are going on an adventure!
Yeah!
Let's go!
Are they really gonna be all right?
This looks like the place.
Indeed. Do you have a plan, Desuhiko?
Of course. The plan name is Leave Things to Chance.
Oh god.
Wow! That sounds exciting!
Let's go, Fubuki!
Right!
Wait,
Hello, Halara.
Laura, what are you doing here?
I knew you'd rush in without a plan.
You are correct, Halara!
Carelessly sowing confusion will simply result in more victims. Don't be so rash.
Are you trying to get in our way? It'd be one thing if you just stayed out of it.
I'm saying the two of you don't stand a chance. If you're up against a casino, let me handle it.
Huh?
Are you going to help us?
Bet on me and you are sure to win. Listen, here's the plan.
Of course, Halara needed to bring a big case of money. Oh, that's cool. Fubuki's necklace has a clock motif for chokers decorated with video playback control.
Welcome.
I'd like to convert all this into chips.
Right away.
Call the owner over. I'd like to play a game. Tell the owner I want to talk to him about that attempted suicide.
Understood.
That's a really dangerous gamble.
How can I help you? You don't seem affiliated with the Peacekeepers.
I'll be direct. You tried to erase one of your hired plans.
What are you talking about?
I'll bet all of my chips. If you win, then this issue will disappear. We'll conclude our investigation and never return. And of course, you can keep all the chips.
Halara, are you sure about this?
And if you win?
You will confess your crimes and turn yourself into the Peacekeepers.
Very well. I don't know what crime you're speaking of, but as the owner of the casino, I cannot turn down such a direct challenge.
You technically can.
I expect you to keep your word.
Of course, and you as well. So, what would you like to play?
Bring some dice.
A game of craps?
Yes, but let's cut out all of the complicated rules. This game will consist of 4 dice. Each player will take 2 and roll them at the same time. Whoever gets exactly 7 wins. If both rolls land on 7, then it's a draw and the game continues.
Very well. We will prepare the dice. Are you fine with that?
Oh, he's gonna load them.
I don't mind. You'll roll the dice.
What? Me? But you are far better at gambling, Hallara.
Ah, 'cause you could turn back time.
I'm going to find out what's going on. Just roll the dice like you normally would. However, if the opponent rolls a 7, turn back time.
Oh, right. I do have that ability.
Oh yeah, I can see the playback button motif on her collar.
Are you ready? Let's play.
Yeah, he's loaded it.
Well, well. Looks like that's game.
We pick up the blue ones.
However, if the opponent rolls a 7, turn back time.
Hallara, I just turned back time. He rolled a 7 right at the start. And my roll was terrible, by the way. I completely lost.
I knew it. But you can do this as many times as you want. That's your strength.
Right.
Are you done with your huddle? No amount of planning will help with dice. You must let luck take over from here. Now, let us play.
Yes, game on. This time.
Ooh.
Why?
Well, well. Looks like that's game.
Nope.
However, if the opponent rolls a 7, turn back time.
I have returned. This is the second time. The opponent rolled 7 on the first throw both times. And the timing of the dice roll was different from before, so I thought there would be different numbers. Are casino owners blessed with natural luck?
Nope.
No, it's not luck. He's probably cheating.
Cheating?
Seems like he's going all out. Well then, there's no reason for us to hold back either.
But what are you going to do? If he can cast a 7 each time through cheating, no amount of turning back time will help. Moreover, there is a limit to how many times I can use my ability.
There is a way to prevent his cheating.
Really?
However, prevention doesn't guarantee us victory. In order for us to win, you must roll a 7.
Oh, right.
Can you do it this time, Fubuki?
I can certainly try. I became a detective by challenging my own fate. I refuse to lose here.
I'll join you in your battle.
Right.
Are you done with your little meeting? You can talk all you want, but I don't think it will change the numbers on the dice. Now, shall we play?
Let's play.
Before we begin, I'm thirsty. Can I get some water?
Very well.
Oh, excuse me.
What are you trying to do?
My hand slipped. Let's begin.
Very well.
I'm counting on you, Fubuki. This game won't end until you roll a 7.
Leave it to me! Come on, 7. Come on, 7. There!
You... How did you...
Wow! This is incredible! I won! I really won!
Impossible! I can't lose with these dice!
Seems like the game is over. You must now confess your crimes.
Well, he Phoenix Wrights himself, aka he character panics.
I'm glad to see you have regained consciousness. Are you all right after that awful fall?
What? No, it's me, Tetsuhiko.
Hmm?
We went over this before we entered the casino. Were you even listening?
As I suspected, the dice used by the casino were rigged.
Yeah.
The victim must have intended to let others know about it with a dying message. It was obvious they'd cheat if we challenged them to a match involving dice.
Which is where I came in. Well, I distracted the staff. Halara messed with the dice.
So that is what happened. I was only able to win thanks to Halara.
No, I didn't touch your dice, Fubuki.
Huh? Then I really rolled a 7 on my own?
You did?
Yes, you won that game.
Really? Thank goodness! I won that game!
Great job, Princess.
Yes! Even if it was just a little bit, I believe I grew as a detective.
Hey, Halara, please do something. Fubuki has been completely obsessed since that day. There's no way I can win against someone who can turn back time.
How rude. I would never cheat like that. Come on, Tetsuhiko. One more game.
That's brilliant. I like this one. That one was a good sub-story. Definitely, yeah, that was definitely a good one. Oh, Amber Lee Collins! Oh, and Sean Chiplock. Nice! Okay.